Today, I'm taking on the biggest city building challenge I've ever faced in Cities Skylines because I have one goal: transform this empty field into a believable Northern European old town with a river running through the whole thing and multiple parks to hopefully make it feel like the heart of a real Northern European city. But before we get into it, I want to say a quick thanks to everyone who watched the first episode, subscribed, and shared your ideas and feedback. Seeing all the support for both the city and the channel has been incredible. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for giving BuildWithToby such an amazing start. And one more thing, a few of you mentioned that the AI intro that I had in my first episode wasn't really your thing. And you know what? I totally respect that. So I made a new one myself. Just don't judge my animation too harshly because I'm not very good at that. Anyway, I'm Toby. Welcome back to BuildWithToby. And now, well, let's build the heart of a city. So here we are. Welcome back to the city that, well, it's still called Toby Town. And hopefully that won't be for much longer. I've gotten a lot of great suggestions from you guys in the comments already. But I actually want to take it up a notch because as much as I've really liked some of your suggestions, they've been very good. I want this to, because it's been very Danish, the suggestions that we've been getting, which, I mean, again, it's cool. But what I want out of this city name is we want a name that both encapsulates Denmark, Sweden, maybe some Norwegian, and German. If we can find a city name or a word of a sort that somehow brings in elements from all those 4 different countries, because those would be the countries that we're kind of looking into matching in this in this city series. If we could do that in one city name, that would be awesome. So let me know down in the comments what your best name suggestion for a city is that takes a little bit of German, a little bit of Danish, Swedish, and Norwegian, and just blends it all together. That'd be amazing. You know what? To start off today's episode, I know that I said that I'm going to be doing downtown, which we are going to be doing, but one thing, I need some revenge. I need a bit of revenge because not only do we still have a puddle of water down here, which I've found out that we can actually remove by going into our water feature settings and then clean up the water. It's gonna mess with the ocean a little bit too, but since we're not really gonna do anything with the ocean anytime soon. There we go. Okay, so we have saved the puddle. No more accidental water leaks anywhere. Also, this area. I need my second chance. And you know what? I found a much easier solution because I have found these assets that are just going to give me water. It is from G87. And what we're going to do is simply this. We're just going to tippity-tappity tap in something like that. Would you look at that? So much easier than having to play around with actual water. And then what we'll do is that we will sprinkle some plants here and there and everywhere, and it should all be nice and neat. There we go. I think we're off to a good start here. Is anyone here on picnic? I don't think so, but we'll at least give them a bench so that if they were, they can sit and take in the views. We could also give them a little pier. Nah, I think that's too much. This is a housing area in the end. It's not all for tourists and whatnot to come and peruse. So we'll just we'll do something like this. There we go. Nice. I think this helped us, and sorry again, houses over here, for drowning you. Basement's flooded. Not too funny, but here we are. Look at that. This is neat. I like it. Another thing, thank you so much to Theo Town Builder, who suggested me getting the sunglasses mod because that has helped the lighting. I hope at least a lot. I looked up a YouTube video on the sunglasses mod, and I think this is a pretty nice setting for it. If you have other ideas, suggestions for mods, I mean, you guys have been incredibly helpful already, so thank you, honestly. Thank you. I know I've been saying it a lot already, but I truly do appreciate all the help. But yeah, if you have specific settings on what I should have for these, let me know, because I just found a YouTube video explaining things. And maybe it's good, maybe not so much. Regardless, thank you. But let's go back to where we were. Let's go back to our old town. I want today to make a river running through the city. I said that we were going to respect the natural terrain and stuff in the previous video, and for the most part we are. But at the same time, I'm like, it's not Denmark. It's just Nordic. And I feel like Nordic equals water, which obviously, there's a lot of and plenty around. But there aren't really any streams on this entire map. I mean, there's a small lake over here. In Denmark, Sweden, Norway, northern Germany, there are streams, rivers, water running here, there, and everywhere. And this map doesn't really have a whole lot of it. So I was thinking that I add some water, and I want it to come through town. And then I was thinking it comes down here, but then we're going to be interfering with the train tracks. So I'm thinking if we have the water come from somewhere up here, we do like a small lake, have the water come down this way, maybe run out the other direction as well. Then what we can do is have it come in through the city. We'll do something nice, and then it can come down. Maybe it can run out underneath. So if we make this, we make these bridges instead. Like we elevate these, it can come down towards the ruin down here. The water is gone here right now because we just did the water cycling thing. It's gonna rise back up, don't you worry. Everyone, it's already starting. But yeah, that's my plan. So I think we're gonna be starting off with me drawing out what the river will be. And this is going to be a video today with a lot of time-lapsing, because I think this is going to take me a while to get done. One thing is doing the layout. Another thing is actually getting everything the way that we want it to be. So let me think for a second. If it's ending down here and it's coming in somewhere over here, we want it to be down by the church, just because that's kind of nice, I guess. A little bit of water running through. Also, I mean, obviously we have the ocean here, but if this is an old town, it would have been founded around the water source, you know, and having a river run through, I think that makes good sense. So diagonal, crisscross, up, out that way. I think that makes perfect sense. So let's just try something. We'll see what happens. We can always adjust things if need be. So we'll do, let me see here. We'll do something like this. And we'll go further over there. Maybe we come down to this portion there. And then here we come out again. Let me see, we have to get out down there. I think this is a pretty good layout. Obviously, I mean, we haven't done the actual river itself yet. But this is a pretty good layout. I like where this is... I like where this is going. Do that real quick. There we go. It's not supposed to be perfectly like same distance all the way through. Again, if this was built by masons back in the day, who knows if they could build straight. These guys couldn't, that's for sure. And then we will have the water continue up this way somehow. But first, actually, you know what? Let me pause the game as well, because this is going to take us a fair bit of time to do. And I don't want to accidentally mess up something while doing this. So what I'm going to do is quickly explain what I'm going to do, and then I'm just going to time-lapse it so that you don't have to sit and watch me fiddle, because there's going to be a lot of micro-adjusting, which I don't think you guys care to watch the whole process of me doing it. Just as long as you get the idea of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, then you'll be able to make sense of it, I guess. So what I'll do is I'll go down here. I'll use the level terrain tool. Actually, no, we'll go up here instead. I'll right-click. This says 19. Okay, so we'll go down. How deep do we want this to be? Let's go 4 meters. So 19, that would be 15 then. All right, there we go. We'll do a little area here. And then we'll do the same thing up here. Also, wait, what? How are these two at the same height? Oh, it is. I thought it was a constant slope. Actually, it's going uphill over here. Okie dokie, we'll figure this out. So instead of having it be 15, we'll do 13, because I guess we need a bit of a slope. There we go. And then we'll do 15 up here. Also, we need to... oh, wait, does this not connect? There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we have you be... We'll do 14. Should it be lower? No, I think this is good. And then what I want to do is that I will take my slope terrain tool. We'll put you all the way down to maybe 20 is okay. Then we right click up here. And then we want to make a slope that runs up there from down here. So we'll mark all this. This should give us the slope that we're looking for. Or something close to it anyway that we can then work off of. Again, a lot of adjustments are going to be made. But yeah, this is the process. This is what I'm planning on doing. And then we'll be doing the same thing down here, which, again, actually, no, let's just do it right away. What we'll do is we'll go up, we'll take 2 nodes down. There's already nodes here. That's perfect. So we'll do maybe a little wider. We'll do that and this. And then we will hop on in and elevate as well. And then we'll do the same thing here. Slope tool. We will right click up there and then we'll... This is incredibly steep. Maybe a bit too steep as a matter of fact. Wait, didn't I make this a bridge? We'll delete you for a second. We'll reconnect it in a moment. Maybe we don't actually need this coming down there. Just like that. And then we'll take this road back on. Great. So now we have the idea of our water. It's gonna come down, gonna go through the city. It's gonna come down this way. We will redo this bridge, don't worry. Come down here and then go out into the ocean. Great. Then we will need to make you a bridge. There we go. And then we will have to do the same thing out here. Now, whoops, there is the topography we have to keep in mind because we have some hills over and around here, meaning that if we're gonna do a river, it's gonna come off, we'll have it go over here somewhere, and there's seems like there's a bit of a hole down here, so maybe this is gonna be a small lake, and then it's gonna... Can we continue all the way out under this road and out here? Maybe we can. Maybe that's what we do. I think that's what we do. So same principle as before. We're at 14 here. We'll stay at 14. And then we'll just very roughly draw out what might end up being a river. And of course, as you can see here, it's gonna vary because here we have to go down to 10. But again, just very roughly draw out the curvature of everything. This is going to be the, this is the idea of our lake. And then we'll have the main water source be somewhere around here. So we'll put down our water source, and we're going to be using this lake, which, I mean, we kind of struggle with it in the city, but this should be okay this time around. We're going to be smart real quick and measure 5 meters in the bottom, 13 up top, which means that's 8 meters deep. So we'll hop on in here, put you down to 8 meters, radius 6, I'm sure that's going to be fine, and see what happens here. It is spreading out nicely, so I am just gonna time travel to a point where this has run all the way through. And while loading or waiting for the water to fill, we got Grand Village, which gives us what? We now have low rent housing. Ooh, we got offices now and transportation. Now we can actually start looking into getting buses and all that stuff. And there's a ton of mods that comes with it. And we get our parks. Nice. A lot of good stuff coming up as we wait for this water to continuously fill out throughout the city. In hindsight, I could probably just start building the city while I'm waiting for the water to run through. We've made it this far, and I haven't even kept track of the amount of time that it's taken us, but you know what? We'll just keep building, and then eventually the water will make it all the way through to the end. And now let's do the road layout. I'm going to use the same strategy that I used over here, being I have no clue what I'm doing, so let's just expand. Yeah, we'll make it look zigzaggy and crisscrossy the same way that we did here, and then hopefully it's gonna be awesome by the end of it. So here we go, another time lapse with me plopping down a ton of roads. I am also thinking that there should be some sort of driving allowed in parts of Old Town at least. So we're gonna take these alley roads, or at least some, and just kind of maybe we bent them. Nah, actually no. Well, we'll just have them run through this. I don't know where we're going. Down here. Out this direction, sure. And you know what? Then just for good measure, to change things up a little bit, we will have one of these regular roads come down this way. Yes. That will encapsulate, or just split it into two a little bit. I guess you can come back up this way and go up there, I guess. Perfect. Continue. I think this is a pretty good layout. Again, I haven't used a lot of brain in doing this, so whether it's gonna work or not, I guess only time can tell. But looking at it from up here, we have a river cutting through. It's gonna go past the church. It's gonna, I don't know, maybe we get some other signature buildings here along the way. We need to, of course, redo the bridges and whatnot. But I think overall the idea is pretty good. I expanded this a little bit. Why, I couldn't tell you, but just to have it be a little cooler. I was considering whether like the main street or whatever you want to call it should go all the way through, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't think it's essential. It could end there, and then rest of Old Town, because I also wanted to, I don't want to say quiet down, but the Old Town has to end somewhere, and then, you know, build into New Town, I guess, somewhere else. So I think this is a pretty solid layout to start things off with. Now we get to the tough part, and I need to shout out Yellow Jacket 365 for informing me that there is a mod that allows you to bend buildings. And my, oh my, Yellow Jacket, had I known you when I did all of this, you would have made my life so much easier, because this mod is incredible. Nothing short of it, really. Wait, I'm seeing something here. Are all these lamps different? You have got to be kidding me. Let me pause the game real quick. Are all the lamps different? I'd like to think I'm not much of an OCD person, but please tell me you're annoyed by this as well. Unless if it was a design choice in the city to just only use different lamps. You know what? I was gonna just go out and remove all of them, but they do bring some nice to the city. Let me know, please, someone in chat, if there's a way to make all of these lamps the same. Because I don't know, but I would like to know. Let me know if you know, because this is definitely something that's gonna boggle my brain. Or if at some point in the next episode I'm told you can't, then I'm just going to delete all of them. But again, back to this mod. So I'm just going to very quickly explain to you exactly how it works. We go into our beloved German buildings. We find a corner building somewhere. And then let's say we want to put this building... Oh, let's just remove snapping real quick. We want to put this building down on this road, where over here... The way I did it before, as you can see, even when there were weird angles, I'd have to find funky looking things to kind of make up for the weird bends. Also, for the most part, I tried to keep it nice, but as you can see here as well, I mean, when you're looking at it from afar, it doesn't really matter. But when you're zoomed in, it does look kind of janky. But with this mod, what you can do is I place down a building. Let's say I put it down here, so one side aligns with what it's supposed to be. Put it down here. Then obviously now there's going to be a gap between here and there. You then press flex it, and now you can bend the building. There you have it. Then the only issue is that it's going to bend on the back side of it as well, as you can see. But what you then do is you find a straight looking building. We'll do something like this. And I will just plop you in over the edge of it. There you go. All of a sudden, you have a building that fits the corner. This is incredible. So thank you both to Yellow Jacket for letting me know that the mod exists and for the mod existing in the first place, because this is saving me a lot of time. So yeah, we're going to be using that a lot in placing down the buildings here in Old Town. And then again, we're going to be using a combination of the German buildings. We have the Baroque buildings as well. I'm just going to see if I can... Oh, are they only... There we go. We have some Baroque buildings that I'm going to be putting down. Not too many. I don't know. They're not overly northern to me. But kind of. It's a mix of all. But we're going to be doing some of these as well. We're going to be using some of the French. They're obviously not called Baroque buildings. Some of these French ones. And maybe sprinkle in a few UK town houses and whatnot, as well as we've been doing over on the other side. That is going to be what we're using for the vast majority of Old Town. We're going to be sprinkling in some parks. We still need to detail the park here. We still need to do a town square, which I want to do here by the church. Oh, the town square by the church and the water. They're getting everything. They're being spoiled, and the water is slowly coming this way. I like it. Has the water come all the way to the ocean down here? Almost. It's definitely hopping over the top and not following down here that I wanted it to. Can we just... Oop. And then... this? Ha 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 ha! There we go! It's now coming down the right way. Perfect. Well, again, detailing all of this will happen. It's not going to be right now. First, we have to plop down 1 trillion buildings. And, yeah, that's something I'm going to be doing. It's probably going to take me... I was going to say an hour. More like 2. To get it all done. So this will be a hybrid of time-lapsing and me plopping down things, and then I'll pause the game as well, because this is going to take me a while, so I don't want all buildings to be abandoned because I'm slow, and they're already wanting workers. So I'm going to pause the game, build out all of this, and then I will see you along the way. A thing that I forgot to mention, which you can see in these examples here, is that whenever I use these flex buildings on the odd corners, I always try to find a taller building on the side of it. As you can see, it just hides the off angles and the weirdness of the shapes that the buildings tend to get after you bend them, so that you overlap it with a taller building, removing those odd corners, and makes it a little bit better. I think already now we can start looking at parks. We have one over here, and I'm thinking we do another one either here or here. It's not going to be both, but I think this one is a good fit for it. And then maybe... Actually, you know what? Maybe we use both of these as parks, and then there's a world where I want to have a tram run through the city. We aren't quite there yet, as far as organizing tram lines, but always nice to have a goal. There we go. We built a little park there. Again, detailing will come. But now we continue. I like the little bit of variety, as you can see here. Whenever we have these small corners, like not all the time do the buildings need to get all the way out. So whenever you have a chance, make some of these small plazas. Not really a big square or anything, just a small little space for some benches, some trees, a little bit of cozy vibes to change things up a bit. I'm not going to detail all of everywhere in the city. That would simply take too long, and this is not going to be a crazy detailed city. But whenever you have these small chances, as you can see here, add some trees, add some benches, a little tiny 1 square park. To just make it a nice, cozy little neighborhood. Almost everywhere in the Nordics have these. Of course, as we can see here, bigger parks will be added as well. But whenever we have those small squares, make it homey, make it nice, give the people that live on that street, in that building, a little place they can walk down and sit and relax. And of course, what would a Nordic city be without more than one church? I really do like this asset. And what I wanted to do different is, instead of giving this one a big plaza too, like we did with the first one, actually kind of have it be part of the old town proper, you know, put buildings all around it, maybe give it a little bit of space on one side. But outside of that, I want this to almost be like part of the buildings that are surrounding it. I think that's a little nice little change of things, so it doesn't stand out the same way that the other one does. But when we look at the skyline later down the line, you will have the double church spires, and honestly, we could probably add in the third church as well. We might do that at some point, but I think this is a nice little variety, because again, I mean, there would never be just one church in a city like this. And then, of course, some graffiti, a few more murals to make it look nice. So here we are, a solid 2 hours worth of building plopping later. I think we have the layout of our old town. Obviously, there's some detail yet to be done, but let's do a quick overview of exactly what we've done here. We have, let me just go back here. We have added a small park down here. We have a bigger park that we're gonna be detailing up here momentarily. We have a road leading through. I didn't like it only being pedestrian streets, so just a small road leading through town here. Maybe we upgrade it to a tram line at some point. Could be kind of cool to have a tram line go through the city, but I'm not sure. I haven't really gotten put too much thought into into what we're going to be doing with public transport yet, but I'm just liking the idea of having a tram go through the park. Ooh, maybe even a stop inside the park. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. Other than that, we have put another church down because what is a city without 2 churches, am I right? Well, that's what we've got going here. Let me pause for a brief moment. So I kind of like this. I like the idea of this old town and the size of it too, because it is pretty vast, I think. Could obviously be a lot bigger, but we're not really going to expand it any further. Having said that, though, as I said in the previous video, I am going to build a train station down here, which is not going to be in this episode. It will simply be too long. We're going to be doing that in the next one. And then with that, I think we're also going to be maybe expanding a bit further of the old town down, at least in this area. But I do kind of like the idea that this whole green space, either we make it another park area, or we do a little bit of building. But then overall, I mean, I kind of like the idea that there's some space between here and here. Maybe in olden days it has functioned kind of as a defensive stretch, an open clearing where, you know, like enemy armies came from the sea, blah, blah, blah. You can run on up, and I don't know. It's getting too complex, too lore deep with this. But I like the idea that there's a little bit of space where there isn't built anything down here. And then we have the train tracks and then old castle. You see, this is what happens when you don't build further inland. This happens too. Nevertheless. We are going to be detailing the parks in just a moment. We're going to be detailing this town square, which I really do like. It's going to be down by the waterfront. And speaking of water, okay, it is coming in. It is slowly coming in. I like this. Ooh, we are also having a bit of a janky situation going on here. How about if we take slope from you to you? Does that help anything? Yes, it does. Perfect. Let me just pause real quick again. We are also going to be detailing the water. The water itself is pretty detailed. We're going to be detailing the river around the water, going all the way up and down here. Of course, what's going to happen in these areas, we don't know yet. But this down here is going to be good. We have made our zigzag water down here. Not sure exactly what that's going to end up looking like, but we now have something to work with. Again, don't look at this. Don't look at the highway. Please don't. This is what we call temporary solutions. It's a duct tape to make sure that the world doesn't fall apart. You know, it's just temporary. As we focus on the good stuff that is down here. We're going to be detailing this more also. Before I forget it, let me just real quickly build a little brecciaruni here. There we go. Perfect. And then lastly, what we're going to be doing in this episode is that we are going to, and I don't know why it's in here, but I've downloaded this mod. It's under road services, and it is all these walls, German walls, brick walls and whatnot. And what we're going to be doing is essentially, I'll show you quickly, and then it'll make pretty good sense. We'll take these, and then we can just plop them in and make it look good. You plop down a wall, you squeeze it down a bit, you plop down another wall. And what we can do to make it even easier is if we go into our line tool, make it a fence, we can then go all the way down here. We'll do something like this. And then we will put you down a bit. Why are there 2 on top of each other? I don't know. And put you down to here, so it's in the water. Perfect. We'll just put you up a little bit. Then we take you, and you, and you. And we say down here to objective height. Boop. Same as that one. And then we mark all of them. And we can then twist and turn a little bit so we get the alignment right. And then we will drag you a bit further up towards what we've already built. Put you a bit further inland. And then we take you down. Twice, you down. Then you down a bit further. And there we go. It just makes it look nice, doesn't it? And then in the corners, another thing. And in the corners, we have these pillars that we can use. So how about if we place one here and one here? And then we mark those 2. And we go. Maybe they're a bit too big to be above ground. So we'll have them be like that. This is nice. This is nice. We're going to be doing it obviously on both sides. I just think this has a better old town view. I know there's like some micro detailing that we could be doing different with this one being a bit further up than the rest of them. There we go. Ish. Perfect. Almost perfect. You know what? I'll take almost perfect. We're not going for a 100% super duper realistic looking town here, because there is going to be these small janky bits and whatnot. And I mean, I hate that when I see it. I say that I'm not going to care too much for it, but then when I see it, I'm like, but bro, fix it. There we go. So yeah, this is looking good. I mean, it's also decent. It's just very concrete and very modern. So we're gonna time lapse our way through me doing all of this river and down to here, which is also gonna take a bit. And then I'm gonna just try, I think, with my node tool and slope some of all these paths that seem a little janky. It's not that I want everything to be flat, because that's also boring. Just to avoid all of whatever this is, to make it a little bit better. So parks, detailing, square, detailing, river, well, detailing out there, and then put down the brick foundation, or whatever you want to call it, brick walls in here. So let's get to it. Oh, another thing that I've done before I forget, I mean, you've seen it along the way, but I've taken some of these smaller spaces that I didn't know exactly what to do with and made like tiny parks around there. This one, a little bit of Plaza, small park over here, you know. I mean, I'm going to be doing it with all these other spaces as well, just to fill out the uglier spaces. We have a small park down here. There's a lot, I mean, if you look at old towns, there's a lot of green space. It's not always that it's very spacious. It doesn't always take up a lot of space, but there's always some sort of green, some sort of open plazas where in olden days merchants could be stood and selling stuff. Because keep in mind, I mean, at least in Denmark, I don't know how it works in other countries, but I'd imagine that it's very similar. You wouldn't just have a market that sells everything. Like, you would have your fish market in one area, you'd have your meat market in another area, you would have your, I don't know, textiles and cloth and clothing and whatever in the third area. So there would be a lot of different marketplaces for different purposes. And I like to think that a lot of the open spaces, I mean, even if it's not a market per se, down here, where there's now a kiosk, maybe this would have been a place where they sell some stuff. So I like the idea. I like the idea of this. With that said, though, let's do some more detailing, and we'll start off with our bricks down by the river. And I think that's it. We now have, 40 minutes later, a brick-filled riverside, which I think is nice. I mean, there's a lot of gaps in the bottom. Could we be more detail-oriented? Yes. And you know what? I think, I guess one thing we could do, since this is like the main crossing, is that we'll have some of these. Beebity, babbity, boobity, bobbity, and then we'll mark them. And then, let me just have over here. We will put them at the same height. Issue is, I don't want people to walk into them by accident. But as you can see, they do float a bit, which honestly I think is okay. Once water comes in, I'm hoping you can't see it too much. Maybe we can put some rocks down the bottom. I'm not sure, but we'll try and let it run for a bit and have the water come through. This is nice. I like it. Now, while we have the water coming through and we get all that running, let's, you know what? Let's do the church park first, and then we will do the square, and then we'll do the big park over here. But I do really like the lay of this. So let's do the church park first. And what is the story of this? I'm not too sure. I do like the people are using it already. But obviously this being the central church, maybe this was what the city was built around. You know, we're down by the water. We have the church here. Ooh, also, what is the name of the river? There's obviously a small lake here. I don't think there's actually groundwater, but there is going to be some sort of a story to it. Lake coming from, water coming from around here. Maybe we expand the water at some point, running in opposite directions. There really isn't a whole lot of water, if any, on this map. Outside of the oceans, obviously, but not so many smaller lakes. But we'll have the water come from here, run down to here. Maybe it's like a spring, a holy spring to some people. This is actually kind of funny. The city that I grew up in is literally directly translated to English called Holy Creek. And well, there you go. This is our creek, and it's holy because there's a church. But let's get into it. I digress. Let's get into it. Let's do something nice with this place. I think we're also... I wonder if we have this tomb. Can we get... Oh, we do. Amazing. Because I was going to say, I think we're also going to have at least just a couple of tombstones. These are like one of the oldest. I know that at least in Denmark, I don't know how it is elsewhere. When you have tombstones that are of a significant age, or like they've been maintained really well, or it's, you know, famous people or whatever, because oftentimes the family would be in charge of maintain, or like at least paying for maintenance of the grave. But in certain instances, if it's like a significant tombstone or whatever, actually the municipality or whatever takes over. Like, they'll happily say, you know what, if you don't want to pay for it anymore, we can do it because this one is super cool and we don't want to lose it. So there are instances where that's the case, and I think these are the ones. It could have been really cool if there was like a really big one. There's a double tombstone here. That's kind of cool. Yeah, maybe we remove some of these. This is just me playing around with assets I didn't know that I have. So let's see. We're just going to do a couple of these. These would just be the unique ones. The rest of them have been removed and would have been put out here. Which, I mean, looking at it now, it's not really that big a cemetery for this vast a city. Nevertheless, here we go. I think this is good for burial sites or tombstones. And then we continue with parkifying things. And I've never thought about this, but I guess the way that I like to do parks, for the most part anyway, is to start big and then work my way smaller. So we do the trees first, or at least I tend to do it this way, not necessarily always, but trees first, then bushes. Usually now I put down a couple of rocks, surely, but then bushes and smaller trees, and then whatever then feels natural in terms of space in between, we do that there. So once we've done this, we've done that. Now let's add in some... I really do like this asset. It doesn't seem like much, but it does so much. At least I feel like it. This, who made it? I think it's GAGATTP. These flowers, they don't look like much, but look at this. I mean, this is a pretty dull space. Obviously, we're not done, but just look at how much, at least I think, this gives by just... Oh, let's remove this real quick. Just having a sprinkle of flowers here, a little flower there. Already now, I don't know about you, but I really do like it. So we're going to be doing those here, there, and everywhere. Maybe some yellow ones as well, just to change it up a bit. Because obviously this is a more well-kept space, so there would be... Can we interlope them? Ooh, we can. I like it. I'm wondering, do we fence in this place or not? Let me know in chat. Would this be a park that's fenced in? I think it would be. So I think we're gonna do it, but if you want me to remove it, let me know. How does this look? Is this very churchy? Actually, you know what? Yes, I think it is. So I think this is what we're working with. As long as they don't change oh, they do. Why do these always just change color? Can't you do them so that they don't? I don't know how, but this is getting a little annoying. I've had it happen with other places too. Is there a way to make sure that they stay the same color throughout? Palette. Do we just, if we do this, stay the same? Can we then... Oh, we might have fixed it. We might have fixed it. I think we have. Yes, perfect. There's a lot of Danish cemeteries that people actually use for, you know, their in-city green space that they go and hang out at. And obviously there would be benches in a place like this for, I mean, I guess mainly for the people that are related to the deceased people that they can then go and visit. But we'll have this here. We don't want this to be like a party place with a big gazebo and all that stuff. I don't think that's very fitting. Also, what could be really cool is to have small statues. That would be actually... Oh, I should find a mod. Is there mods for like small statues of, you know, like the Amor with the arrow and all that stuff? If we have small stuff like that, that could actually be really fitting. But I haven't downloaded those yet, so that will have to wait for another episode. That could actually be really cool. I mean, it was kind of intentional that I didn't time-lapse this bit, just so you get an idea of how long I actually spent on detailing things and my thought process going through. I like this. This is nice. And what do we want to do with the town square? You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking we have outlined that with the pavement. Now we go in here. Wait, I should... Where's my 90 degrees? There we go. We go up here to there somewhere. And then, if I can find the right angle, it should be somewhere around there. We go down to there. Ooh, this is nice. This I like. Then what we can do on top of that is to take one of these. Don't I have it somewhere? Let me just double check. Vanilla curve, exactly, because this transition seems kind of odd. So what we can do is we take you over there, and then run you all the way up here, then run you all the way down there, and then run you all the way down there, just to encircle the cobblestone. Ah, this is nice. This is really nice. Then what we do next is we take some plant, what do you call them? Plant beds, I guess. Yeah, plant beds. And then we sprinkle in some trees. Which type of trees do we want? Great. Then we're gonna find a fountain. And I think we need a big one down here. Large fountain. Oh, that is a very big one. But you know what? I think it's fitting. We find this place in between these two. Boop. Plop you down. Oh, perfect fit. And then what we do next is I want this space... You know what? Actually, what we could do, this is going to be... I don't know if it's kind of stupid, but let's try it out. A different type of stone that we add in between. Let me just make sure that I have the angle right down below. Should be something like that. Oh, almost. And then we do another set of curb. I like this a lot. I actually really do. Then let's sprinkle in some benches here as well. If I can find them. There we go. We'll just put, not there, because that's where people get in and out to the area. We'll just put some benches in between here. Maybe this one will leave open as well. I was kind of thinking to do these sort of things that is kind of like a food market. I don't know if it's fitting, but at least have some chairs and tables and whatnot. I've got these, which, I mean, that's not very fitting. But if we were to do something like this, then can we remove just the umbrellas? We can. Perfect. Maybe just this. Maybe we don't have the food stall. Because I was kind of thinking that we'd do the food stalls like, you know, I don't know, something like that. But at the same time, whoops. At the same time, I don't know. Maybe we just have it be this for now. People can sit, people can chill. It's open. And then eventually we'll consider, let me know, should there be a food stall here or no? But I do really like this place. So this whole area around the church now, I think is incredibly nice. You come from the town square, come over here, you can hang out in the park. Let me know what you think. I think we've hit something really nice. I do like this as well. Maybe it should be recolored so the brick matches the church brick. That's not a bad idea. I'm not sure exactly how to do that, and honestly, I think there's other things I need to spend time on right now. But I really do like this area. This has turned out very nicely. Now let's do the big park. Then we're gonna do the and I'm just gonna time lapse this because now you've seen everything that I do over here, so you will understand my thought process. Ooh, pause for a second. We have a police situation. Do we not have? Let me just check real quick. Is the issue that the police actually cannot get in there? Oh, wait. I think there's a thing that I saw in a video at some point. Road builder, take you, edit all instances. There should be a thing where you allow service vehicles, but I'm not sure how you do that. Maybe that's not in here. There is a thing where you allow for service vehicles to come through. Maybe it's because we have to do something about the area as a whole. I don't remember. I just know there's a way that you can allow for service vehicles to come down pedestrian streets, which obviously we should, because we don't want to have the police not be able to fight crime in the city center. That's kind of dumb. Let's do this park. I have an idea. Let's see if we can do this. It's so insignificant, and did we just delete these buildings? Oh no, we did. Yeah, I think this is a nice park. Do we throw in some extra things? I mean, trash cans would probably be smart. Or trash bins anyway. Ooh, this is cool. This is really cool. And the water is animated, I think. But it does not really fit the vibe anywhere. Maybe, you know what? This has a very churchy vibe to it. I'm not at all, I mean, there's this, I do stick to the European stuff for the most part, but I am not a biologist. I don't know enough about plants to be like, yeah, so this plant only grows in this place or whatever. So if I accidentally use something like, yay, pines always will grow together, why are they with, I don't know, birch trees? Then I'm sorry, guys. I just don't know that stuff. But you know what? I think this is nice. Also, I'm sorry, buildings. This is actually a little annoying. Let me just place down some buildings and get that space back, and then we'll move on. You have Reclaim, Rewild right next to a big park. I think that's kind of fitting. A beautiful kind of multi-functional park that people can use for whatever they want. Again, some statues here and there and stuff like that. Sculptures would be nice, but I don't really have assets for that. So I think this is our downtown somewhat completed. We do need to sprinkle in a couple more trees and plants. And I think that's gonna do it. This is the downtown of the city, which has yet to get a name. And I like it. I really think it's awesome. It has taken me a long time to build it. And yes, are there details that we could be doing that is even more like all these small things? Yes, but if I was to do that for every single building, I would go insane. Because as you can see here, there are a lot of buildings. And honestly, what are these trains doing? Honestly, I'm pretty satisfied with what we've been able to achieve with this old town. So I'm excited to work out in this direction with whatever we're gonna get here. We're gonna get the train station down here as well. And we are going to fix the river. And you know what? Just a really quick way to do that just for now. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it. We'll go 200. We'll take Anarchy off. And we'll do this. And we'll do that. We'll do this. And we'll do that. We'll come over here. Come down there. Sprinkle in some of this. Sprinkle in some of that. And then we will hop on over here. Take our dirt. There it is. Take our mountain 2. Go down to, let's do 40. And just sprinkle it in between. And then lastly, we'll take some of the small rocks. Just kind of scatter. We'll make this a bit smaller so it's somewhat centered around the water. Under the water as well is okay. And my game crashed. For the love of everything holy in this game, please have a recent autosave. I do not want to have to do that whole city over again. So where are we? The park is done. Okay, so it's literally just the water. I got scared for a second, guys. Not gonna lie. I got really scared for a second. So it's just the trees that we lost. Okay. Okay, we're back. Everything is okay. We're breathing. We're breathing. All is good. So let's try this one more time. And there we go. What I think, I mean, obviously it's crazy overgrown right now, and we will be adapting it. But for now, and there's some like the shores themselves, I think we need to make look better. But overall, I think it's looking pretty good. We just need to work with the soft terrain tool a little bit and kind of ease some of this out. So it's not all dudded all the way down. Nice. Again, I'm no expert on making rivers and stuff like that, but I do think this is a pretty good start. Is it natural that it comes out of nowhere down there and then just goes off in all directions? Probably not, but I kind of like where this is going. I think this is a nice place to finish off the day. We do have a lot of services that need to come through, but here you have it. This is the downtown of the city, still yet to be named. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed the episode. In next episode, we are going to be doing 2 things, I can tell you already. We're going to be doing our train station and that whole area down here. That's going to be quite the challenge as well, because obviously we're working with some very difficult terrain here. And also, we are going to be expanding up into this area. What's going to happen? I'm not quite sure. If you have any good suggestions, let me know. I myself thought it could be kind of cool with the sport that everyone loves, and I'm not necessarily a very big fan of, but build a football field up here and something around there. I don't know. I thought it's kind of cool up here, but let me know what you think down in the comments. And yeah, until I see you again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you would care to like and subscribe to the video. I'm trying to grow the channel, and I mean, a lot of you guys have already, and I am very, very appreciative of that. So thank you. But if you haven't, by all means, hop in and give us a subarino if you made it this far in the video. I appreciate it. But thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.